Zinedine Zidane loves his football. Even after playing the game professionally for almost 20 years, he is still as enthralled with the game as he was as a kid on the streets of Marseille. The story goes that after playing a game for Real Madrid, he would go to a cafe with the other players, but instead of getting caught up in conversations about the game, he would sit quietly and watch the whole game on the television replay. His passion for the sport is what drove him to succeed. Football was not a job to him, training was not a chore. Football was his life, and he wouldn't have it any other way. In many ways, Zidane's rough childhood proved to be the perfect training ground for a future world-beating soccer player. It taught him how to dream and gave him the strength to keep following those dreams when the going got tough. Unfortunately, his early struggles with adversity also bequeathed him another legacy that would dog him throughout his career. Zidane is naturally passive by nature. He didn't start fights on the field, nor did he go looking for them. But if he was taunted or provoked by another player, his early experiences had taught him to take the bait rather than back down. It was to prove his Achilles heel. When everything is on the line, in the heat of battle, players will do anything to throw their opponent off their game. They will try especially hard if that opponent is of the caliber of Zinedine Zidane. The first sign of his inability to back down came in his first World Cup. Although the incident was never fully investigated, Zidane was sent off for stamping on Saudi defender Fuad Amin. An action truly deserving of the red card, it seemed out of character for the placid young player. Sometime later, it was revealed that Amin had verbally provoked Zidane, which went some way towards explaining Zidane's loss of temper, but in no way justified the attack. Once again, in the heat of battle, this time in the 2006 World Cup, Zidane was sent off in France's second group match after receiving his second yellow card in as many matches. He got his first warning for pushing an opposing South Korean defender. However, it was the red card he received in that year's World Cup final that made all the headlines. In a split-second incident that has been replayed, investigated and reported more times than anyone can remember, Zidane was sent off in the last minutes of extra time with scores tied at 1-1. The final international appearance of his career had ended with a crushing headbutt to Marco Materazzi's chest, which knocked the Italian to the ground. The outrage was immediately and deservedly met with a red card, and France went on to lose the World Cup final via a penalty shootout. Investigations into the incident found that Materazzi had verbally abused Zidane just as Amin had done 8 years earlier. Materazzi, who was bent on trying to distract Zidane from the task at hand, had clearly done his research, but even he could not have hoped for the strength of reaction he got from Zidane, which resulted in the 14th red card of the Frenchman's career. There was no doubt that Zidane had been the heart of the French team. Not only was he a master at setting up chances and kicking goals, he was also capable of inspiring his teammates to play above their best. His on-field presence filled the French team with confidence, and when their captain, playmaker and top player was sent off with only a few minutes to go, it weakened their resolve. When Zidane was expelled from the field, his teammates were left in disarray, with a World Cup deciding penalty shootout just around the corner. Italy eventually won the shootout 5-3, with Trezeguet, the hero against Italy in Euro 2000, missing the game-deciding penalty. In a match that should have been Zidane's triumphant swan song, a match that he had spent his life preparing for, Zidane should have kept his mind on the game. Sure, Materazzi insulted him and his family, but the sweetest revenge would have been to hold the World Cup aloft for a second time. His final fateful act won Zidane several dubious honours. As well as becoming the first player to be sent off in extra time of a World Cup final and the fourth to receive a red card in a final, he went down as only the second player ever to be sent off in 2 separate World Cups.